Okay. So since it's just the three of us right now, I'm hoping that we'll have more people, but we'll have a great time here. Um, so again, welcome to Fire Up Connect. And I'm going to go ahead and start a question. And Brian is getting his video now. Do you see Brian now, Kelly?
I do. It looks great.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Kelly. So Kelly, in regards to your business, what is something that people need to know that is uniquely, uniquely offered to other people compared, within your industry?
Well, I'll just give a little bit of background about Home Mortgage Finance Corporation. It's a little bit different approach to mortgage lending than, say, some of the larger companies that are out there. I have a history of marketing mortgage in the past with Stearns Lending, Impact Mortgage. I worked at Pacific Premier Bank for a while. So I have a little pretty good understanding of how to approach it. And one of the things I liked about Home Mortgage Finance Corporation is that they have a very strong partnership program. Number one, focused on working with loan officers or small lenders in a partnership approach. So that, say, for example, we have a partner, Resolute Lending on the East Coast. They're a small shop and trying to continue to build their clientele, continue to reach out to potential home buyers and those looking to refinance in various ways. And they just need a little bit of back end help, a little bit of operational help. So they partner with us. We support them in many different ways. They remain as a business, organized in of themselves, but they have, a larger company that's in the back end support of it. Now what that does is allows us to do a lot of work within the communities themselves, as opposed to the big corporate company here in Santa Ana, California. So that means, when these new programs, whether it be underbanked, underserved communities in areas across the country where we have these partnership DBAs, they're able to reach out and provide more on a community local basis, as opposed to a large like a B of A or a Chase or et cetera, that level, who don't necessarily have that same local approach. It's one of the reasons the partnership, for many reasons, has been successful so far. We're 20 plus locations, growing still. And obviously, we don't need to talk about how difficult it is right now in the new home building industry, new home buying industry, the rates themselves, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that we're still a relatively small company and still growing works to our benefit.
Okay, that's awesome. All right. So now, Kelly, you get to ask a question. We have Brian and Gabby. Gabby, welcome back to Fire Up Connect.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we have Kelly here, who is our first time guest. And I just asked a question, and he kind of just gave some information about his business. So Kelly, it's your turn to choose one of the, either Brian or Gabby, whoever you wanted to ask a question.
Gabby, I want to say I love your background of your office there. It's very dynamic. That whole dynamic stripes up and down. And of course, Brian, doesn't hurt, having the Space Needle behind you either. It's a nice little option there. And I'll get my video worked out here, as I said earlier, to Marie, that I've got a huge bank of computers and monitors I sit in front of all the time, so it kind of makes it difficult. Brian, tell me a little bit about yourself, what you've got going on. Turn off your mic, or turn on your microphone first.
There you go.
A little bit about myself. Well, you know my name.
There you go. That's all I need to know. Is that it?
You want to know more than that? So,
maybe. Just a bit.
So, up in the Seattle area, obviously, work with nonprofits and individuals in how to give more to charity using non-cash means. The reason for that is according to the Federal Reserve, somewhere between 1% and 2% of household wealth is kept in cash. The rest is kept in either business interests or real property, mostly real estate. So looking at those numbers, there's a vast amount of wealth that's accessible for people to give and for nonprofits to receive. A lot of them don't know that. Some know it, but they think it's too complicated. It can be complicated, but doesn't have to be. So there are lots of very nuanced strategies that can be very impactful in that space. And I help spread that word. So
Great. Sounds fantastic.
Awesome, Brian. Okay, Martha, welcome back to Fire Up Connect. Okay, Brian, you get to choose either Martha or Gabby.
well, I think it's that. I think it's time to pick on Martha this time. So besides the
Oh, we lost your microphone.
can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So Martha, besides the obvious question of why haven't we talked yet, what other wonderful things have you done since last time you were on this call?
Oh, so I'm gonna take a foreclosure course because I want to flip my first home this year. So I'm very excited about it. So I have enough to invest in a foreclosure. I just need to find it and make sure I'm not doing the wrong thing. So I have a course that I'm gonna take for 3 days straight. So let's see if I dare or not. And I just hold on for the next thing.
Awesome. All right, Martha, you get to ask Gabby.
Yeah. Big Pumpkin. So let me know a little bit more about your business and why do you enjoy your business?
Unmute. You'll need to unmute.
I like your space.
Yes. I've already commented on that. Very nice.
So thank you so much. Many people tell me that they just love the space that I've, made for myself, because this is where I spend maybe 12, 14 hours a day.
Oof.
So it makes sense for me to, have it up nice and lively. If I look around, I see something nice, right? So even for the videos as well. So I put up a lot of content. Oh, let me just tell you what I do. So I'm an enrolled agent by license. I run a CPA firm. I run a CPA EA firm. I do a lot of taxes and accounting for small business owners, primarily from the trucking and real estate industry. And I've been an accountant for 22 years and just quit my job a couple of years ago and started my business full time just before COVID hit. And I think that was the best decision of my life. Reason being, I'm so passionate about taxes and accounting anyway. So just it was the right thing for me to do, having all that experience from the industry and, meeting so many nice people and, using all that experience and putting it into my business. And, when I do so much of it, because I do programming, it's so hands-on, right? So I'm an entrepreneur. I'm doing programming, I'm doing accounting for myself, I'm doing sales, I'm doing marketing, operations, backend, just name it, right? Everything. So all that I've learned, use of Excel sheets, SAS programming, just name it. When I do it now, oh my God, I learned this like 15 years ago, how did I do it? How did I do it then, And it's just amazing, at that point, it seemed useless. Like, why am I doing this? But now on hindsight, all those years of experience, it kind of, is being put to practice. So I am enjoying what I'm doing, a step in the right direction, definitely. So yeah, that's me.
That's awesome, Gabby. Okay, now you get to ask me a question.
Ask you a question?
Yes, I'm the last one.
Oh, really? Okay, I think I missed Kelly, I think. Okay, awesome. So Marie, it's great knowing you. I know you and I have been in touch for a while. What inspired you to start this group or the mission that you're on? So what's your mission? And then why are you on the mission?
Okay, well, Fire Up Connect was actually created because of the company I started in 2014 called Finest Women in Real Estate. I wanted to, make sure that the women understand the concept of being part of the community. So for them to be part of the community, they need to have the business connections. And so what we did is we created this group called Finest Resources, and we brought in, members coming from different businesses. But what happened is, so they ended up creating, projects. They ended up creating this Halloween for Heroes, where they, give, what is that? A pumpkin to military families. And they also have another event that they created called Turkeys for Troops. And they ended up honoring veterans and wounded warriors. Then out of that, what happened is we, the people that are the members of Finest Resources wanted to be more, independent, and they don't want to just be known as a real estate networking group. So we created the Fire Up Connect, and that became an independent company for all types of businesses. And then for me personally, I was a member of Team Referral Network. I've been in the BNI groups, LATIP. And what I always see is that there's always something missing for me. And so the way I created the Fire Up Connect is to really have that understanding of building the information, the trust, the lifetime referral, the relationship. That is really my focus here. I don't want to just give a referral to somebody when I don't know who they are. And that is what some of the things that are happening in BNI, that you're kind of forced to give a referral. And then, being a member of Team Referral Network, the referrals I received were not really good referrals. They didn't have any kind of foundation of business relationship or trust. So it doesn't make sense. So that's why Fire Up Connect is different. We wanted to find a way that we can all work together and also build that relationship and have that level of trust that you will feel comfortable giving a referral. And that's how we created this.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Marie. Thank you.
Okay, so now that we finished our first part of our meeting, now the next part is to talk about a subject. And I'm thinking of, let me see, what will be a good, okay, so since we are talking about, we kind of mentioned the team business networking. Now, in regards to your business, what kind of, business professionals that are really effective for you to be involved? So if we can just ask each one of you and kind of share your concept and perspective of what that is for you, that would be great. Who would like to start? So should I go ahead and ask Kelly, since you're this?
For sure.
Go ahead.
See, I'm the type of guy that's going to volunteer first all the time, so you got to watch out for me. That's
I'm
why.
glad that you're like that.
Well, yeah, I know need a shot. Well, and of course, I'll always look at a situation to where, the people I'm working with, and of course, it's the five of us right now in this particular conversation, and how best to leverage, what we do and how it could benefit, in some way, shape, or form. So right off the bat, Marie, you're easy enough because being in the real estate world, of course, and you working hand in hand with lenders all the time, that would be an easy connection to make right off the bat. So I'm always going to be mindful of what realtors are doing, how they're trying to better connect with their borrowers. As you say, you want long-term relationships. And of course, our loan officers want long-term relationships with people like yourself. And so as a marketer of that, I'll want to know how better we could speak to you to meet your needs, meet your clients' needs. I produce materials all the time. There's stuff on our website all the time. Yes, I'm going to tell you to go look at homemac.com because it could be a resource that you certainly could use. We're doing some lending programs right now with the Marines at Camp Pendleton, which I'm sure you're aware of. So there's more that can be done that way. Then I could turn around and say to Brian, after listening to him talk about some of the stuff that he's involved in, that I would like to speak to him from a business standpoint on joining our advisory board. Because if some of the stuff that he's doing relates to some of the things we're trying to do with various communities across the country, say, for example, those that are underbanked or underserved financially or don't have the resources financially to get into a home opportunity, I'd like to get his input on an advisory board member perspective. So there's two ways to leverage two people just in this conversation, I go back to looking at everybody's around you. Obviously, in the future, Gwen and Martha, I'll get more opportunities to speak to them about more of what they've got going on and their connections as well. Because, in any networking situation, it's not so much the people right in front of you, but it's the people you know. That's the whole reason we're all on LinkedIn in the first place.
Yes,
So those are my thoughts.
that is awesome, Kelly. I loved it. Okay, so who's next? Volunteer, or I'm gonna have to call. How about you, Gabby?
Sorry, what's the question? I'm so sorry.
So the question is, your the type of people that you want to work with, and kind of give us your perspective of how that is for you.
Okay, so that's interesting. Obviously, so I work with a wide variety of people here, and I figured out that the kind of people that I want to work is a particular niche within my clientele. So it's people who have experience within the industry for a while, and they have been, they have a history. Well, how should I say? I actually never thought about it. I'll be honest.
What is it again?
I don't know. I actually don't know, in the sense that I've never thought about it. I just generally work with clientels, people who are making a certain amount of revenue, and it's very financial. It's very cut. It's kind of. I'm like, okay, this is the kind of person I want. He's making more than $250,000. That's the kind of person I want to work with. So I am pretty sure it's very, targeted. I don't beat around the bush. And I choose my clients if that's what you're looking at. And I don't know if that's even the right answer or not.
No, there's no wrong or right answer here. This is really just what works for you, and we're all just trying to get to know people. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have small business owners from various industries making a certain amount of revenue. I do not go through a referral system. I would love to. I do get referrals for sure, but then if someone finds me anywhere on my ads or anything like that, obviously I question them, go through their financials, and then pick up the client if I want to work with them or not.
Okay.
Generally people are nice, I would say, so it's okay to work with them. Obviously have a few bad apples everywhere, but then, so what do we say about that? So yeah, I generally do not. Yeah, I'm sorry. Was that the right answer? I don't know.
There's no, again, it's amazing. It's amazing what you share. Okay, Martha, what about you?
I think I talked to you about this one and it clicked. This is good that you reminded me. One way that I can get clients, and me and you talked about this, Marie, is by working with CPAs like you. How do you pronounce your name? I don't want to say wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. My name is Gabby. Just call me Gabby.
Gabby, okay.
Yeah.
Gabby. I don't want to slaughter anybody's name.
No,
So
okay.
yeah, working with
Gavy. So it's Gabby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gabby. Okay, so I'm working with companies like Gabby who are CPAs, because one of the things that I like to address in business and creating business strategies is looking at the financials, and it's really addressing one of the biggest problems is cash flow. A lot of companies don't know how to manage their cash flows. I look at all data, but the very first data that I look at is their financials. And we figure that out first. We try to optimize the spending and try to create a strategy. And then after that, then we look at other points. We look at the marketing, and then we look at the operations. So that's one group of people that I have to partner with, CPAs, and really get them to know what I do so they know how to refer me. The second one is financial advisors. So now when we get the company to generate profit and multiply their sales and revenue, then what can you do with that surplus? Because that's what happens when it works. Because I have that problem. What do you do with the extra fund, the extra profit that you get? You reinvest. So I would need a group of really good financial consultants that can help my clients invest their extra money into something that will serve as a vehicle to even multiply the money even more. So those two, CPAs and great financial advisors.
Okay, so my answer was not wrong. Okay, so she has her own niche and I have my own niche. That's
yeah,
okay.
no, we don't have to fight.
Okay. All right, Brian, your turn.
So networking, huh? So first, before I forget, let me tell Martha that the other thing I do is I own an investment advisory firm. So if you're looking for great financial advisors, you're already talking to one. So it's what I do in my spare time.
We all have to get in a meeting then. Gabby and Brian, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
So networking is very important for my business model because I realized that the best people, the best CPAs and the best estate planning attorneys and real estate attorneys, they have no desire to be my corporate slave because they're doing what they do and they do it well. So what I've done is I have built relationships with attorneys and CPAs and other wealth advisors around the country. And they bring me and my team in to do what we're good at, things that they don't do, but they don't have to spend years learning how to do what we do. They just bring us in, we solve a particular problem for them. They put us on the shelf until the next case comes along. So CPAs, real estate attorneys, estate planning attorneys, real estate investors, realtors, and other wealth advisors. Those are my target market for networking.
Wow.
Because together, we can be very, very impactful for their best clients.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want, I mean, Fire Up Connect members are amazing.
And,
I just love
and
it.
the benefit is that we're not trying to steal anybody's clients away from them.
Mhm.
We the conversation usually starts with the wealth advisor or the attorney or the CPA, but by the time we're done, all of us have collaborated on this project. And the reason for that is the wealth advisor or the attorney, they know a small piece of the puzzle. But the CPA may know something that will blow up the plan. And unless the CPA is in the room part of the discussion, you'll never know that. All right. And then by the time you get this plan all built together and you present it to the client and they take it to their CPA and the CPA says, nope, this won't work because we plan on doing this. So we try to get everybody in the room on the front end.
Mhm.
And that's the beauty of how we do this. So the entire financial team is sitting on the same side of the table, trying to come up with the best possible solution for their client.
That's awesome, Brian. Okay. All
So-
right.
Marie,
Yes.
what do you know about networking? Anything?
Well, I mean, for me, I think, because I've been connected to so many people and I've had experience where they were good and they were bad. So I'm very careful about who I really work with. I give people a chance to show what they have and how they work and how they communicate. I give people a chance, but when I see something that is really not acceptable to me in terms of integrity, in terms of how they work with people, how they communicate with people, respect, those are the things that I look for. And if and I because part of me, it's very important to have a good reputation with my business that I refer to others. I can't really refer people when they are not good in handling a situation, when they don't know how to put people first and make sure that they it's not for themselves only, but for the success of whatever the project is. Because I myself get into a project where I would have an initial contract. This is how much money I'm going to get. But when it comes to a situation where I have to understand what is the success of of this project, that I don't care about the money, I care about the success of the project. And because when you do that, the people that are involved will remember exactly what you do, and they will actually give you more projects when they know that you are not about just for yourself. You're for working together and making sure that things are successful. And I get blessed by people when I think that way. It's not really so much for me. It's about how making people successful in what they're doing. And I love, helping people. I want to see projects become successful. And, I've been blessed with so many people because of the way I have worked that way. So I look for people that have good integrity, good principles in life, good perspective in life. That's why, the Fire Connect is designed that way. It's to see how people think of certain things. I value relationship. And I value people, the way they think of certain, I mean, they have to be problem solver too. They can't just be complaining about problems. They have to create solutions. And I can't work with people that keeps complaining and not really understanding how you can find a solution to a problem. And I like people that are very creative. They're innovative. Those are the people that I love to work with. I just, I enjoy listening to people's, talent and skills when it comes to solving problems. So that's why I think this is a good sign. Now, okay, so we finished the second part. If you can take 30 seconds to give me your feedback of what you heard from everybody, just put it on chat and we'll take 30 seconds on that.
So I've been meaning to tell you something, Marie, and I don't want to forget to tell you again. My thoughts often die of loneliness if I don't share them quick enough. So I read a book a while back, maybe 10, 12 years ago. The title is Never Eat Alone.
Yep.
Never what?
Never Eat Alone.
Oh, okay.
And basically it's about a guy who strikes up conversations with people. And what he found was he would meet people, he would learn about them, and then he would meet other people and say, you know what, I know someone who could probably help you with this issue that you have, and became a connector. And that's who you remind me of. This guy who became a pretty dynamic connector of other people.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I'm out there, the people that are around you, even let's say the waiters or the servers, you'd be surprised how powerful their connections are. And if you really show some kindness and, really being, good to people, these people have given me referrals for many years just because they got to know me and because I said hi to them, because I was nice to them when they were, serving me food. It was just incredible how people are so, what do you call that? So giving, so don't, look at anyone else like, that they're not, just because they don't have the professional, career. They are connectors. All the people that surrounds you are connectors, and they can give you lifetime referral. So anyway, thank you so much, Brian, for sharing that. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next part of our meeting, and it looks like we got some good comments here. With Martha, she said, this challenged me to think about a smart way of expanding my business, and it's through strategic partnership. This is the second time I hear this from her. This is Sunny. All right, thank you. And with Kelly, Marie, people first, Brian, investor. Yes. Gabby, know your target, comfort zone. All right. Martha, own growth to benefit others. All right. And then from Gabby, I read somewhere, people won't remember who you are, what you wear, what house you live in. What they would remember is how you treated them. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Now, can you go ahead and put in your contact information too, since we're already in the mode of writing? So make sure that everybody can connect with each other. But while you're doing that, I'm going to move on to the next part of our meeting, which is what we call business collaboration. And this is where you get to share one of your accomplishments or a challenge that you want people to know, and maybe get some recommendations or ideas. Or lastly, you can share a specific goal that you wanted to accomplish and very focused on doing that. So let's go ahead, and who would like to start? Kelly, you want to start again?
No, let's let somebody else jump in ahead.
Okay.
Because I'll do it every time. So
Okay, all right. So
share the wealth, share the wealth.
Okay, how about Brian this time?
How did you know I was going to jump in?
I can tell.
Okay, you're starting to know me too well. I don't know if I
I
should
think
be,
it's my sixth sense there.
I should be honored or scared. I'm not sure. Um, so I am of the belief that there's almost always a way to do what you want to do. Right? Sometimes you have to think outside the box. I don't I don't particularly like that term, but it does apply. So there's a gentleman who wanted some tax-free retirement income. And one of the ways to do that is to buy a cash value life insurance policy and let it percolate long enough where you can start taking income out of it tax-free. Problem was he was 68 years old and had some health issues that made life insurance cost prohibitive for him, especially the amount that he wanted to get. However, there was a solution. So his 30-year-old daughter, the plan is for his 30-year-old daughter to take over the business in 15 years. So as part of the succession planning, he could buy an insurance policy on her where the cost of insurance is very low because she's only 30 years old, didn't have the same health issues he had. And the result of this case, we run illustrations. The result of this case would be that in 10 years, he'll be able to start taking out about $250K a year tax-free for 10 years and then turn that off. And once again, because she's so young and the cost of insurance is cheap, by the time she turns 60, she'll be able to take out about $350K a year tax-free for 20 years. So he's happy, she's happy. I'm happy. Now we just got to get this, across the finish line. So
Wow,
so
awesome.
there's almost always a way.
Yes, I truly agree with you.
And the
Brian.
strategy is CPA approved. So, or at least his CPA approved it.
Okay. All right, Martha, you're next.
Something very exciting. I'm gonna launch my Power of Numbers course. I'm gonna start launching it on Monday. So the marketing material is ready. So it's just a matter of me just putting it up and paying a little bit on some ads. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a reality. I mean, the first step is tell people there is a class.
Yes, awesome, Martha. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. All right, Gabby.
Okay, so my short-term goal is to be able to do some serious tax planning for real estate investors who, and obviously they have another business too. So they're also into the business of investing and also have other businesses too. And actually suggest them some serious tax planning strategies of some, something that they've never heard of, something that they've never, they're not aware of as well. And there's so many new things and new ways to do it, new tools, and I just want to try those new tools that are there in the market. So that's my short-term goal, I would say, in the next 1 or 2 years. Long-term goals obviously are more ambitious, so definitely a very long way to go for me. I've just started, so yeah.
That's awesome. All right, Gabby. Okay, now Kelly, your turn.
Okay. Well, working for this, mortgage company, we've got a lot of goals, and I've got a lot of personal goals, obviously, within the company too. We've got a retail side, we've got a wholesale side. So it's, you're supporting a lot of people, and I'm always going to put supporting them first. I've got an interesting dynamic for me because my own support team, the marketing department, is based in the Philippines. So I spend a lot of time with my two guys over there talking about projects that are going on, what we've got to make happen. A lot of our back-end ops team is over there as well. But one of the main things we're focusing on right now is our community development mortgage program, our CDMP, which is on our site. Basically, it's program's primary focus on enhancing the economic and homeowner opportunities for low-income, minority, underbanked communities across the country. I know I mentioned that earlier, but it's becoming a greater focus, but it's been a focus for a long time. It's just that as we continue to move forward in the economy and the difficult financial times that are going on right now, chances for people to find a home, get opportunities for a home, are becoming less and less. And so we're trying to just simply turn more of our focus from the individual branch locations across the country to the communities that they're involved in to the CDMP program. And that's one of my priorities, is to continue to build that up.
Okay, wow. That's awesome, Kelly. Okay, so my turn. I was very excited that I met with the leasing manager from one of the hotels here in San Diego, because I am planning to do I'm looking for a location for the Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs, also for the International Wealth Builders Association meetings, monthly meetings. And I'm also planning the yearly Fire Up Live event in October. So when I met with her and I, shared what I wanted to do, I think she is willing to work with me, and she's giving me some really good rates. I'm so excited because I have all these rooms, a big ballroom. I can do fashion shows. I can do live events. And so that was a really good meeting yesterday. So that's what's happening. And then, I do have a couple of ladies now that wanted to host a radio show, and they're coming in for the International Wealth Builders Association, because I just ended two people's contract for that radio show. So I have two people that are coming in that are going to be representing the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club and the Finest Women in Real Estate. So I'm very happy with that. And as you know, I am, still making sure that the Fire Up Connect is always getting some value, so we, having you guys as a member and, understanding the value of our meetings, definitely that is something that I really want to continue passionately, really growing the membership, bringing some really amazing people. The more I bring some people like you, the more it's going to create so much opportunities. And Kelly, I forgot to mention that I'm also in the real estate land development projects. So I actually worked with Gavi in one of my clients, and she right away was so easy to work with. She responds so quick. I mean, that's something I was like very impressed with, that short communication we had. And she is quick in giving me the answers. We didn't waste any time. She knew exactly what we needed, and she gave us the answer. And I'm very pleased with that, Gabby. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you.
And we're going to have actually another meeting with her this afternoon. So another opportunity. So I am moving on with Gabby. Gabby, I wish that you would just join the Fire Up Connect. I would love for you to just, keep us, helping other people too. So anyway, that is our third part of our meeting. The last part is, let's find ways now, talk about, what did you find in our meeting? Did you find any kind of collaboration, ideas? What did you think about the entire meeting too? So I'm going to ask Kelly, since this is your first time, Kelly,
Sure.
It will be your turn to go ahead and give your feedback.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I think, Brian, I will be reaching out to you with some thoughts I have, and I'm serious about our advisory board membership. And I'll send you some information about how I believe that the collaboration could certainly work in a variety of ways in the long term. Maria, I certainly would connect you, obviously, in the real estate world. I kind of want to approach it, your approach to working with lenders, what your expectations are, what you hope to get from them, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, we have a number of them here in California that can certainly work with you.
Okay.
But I'm going to, Gabby, I like the fact that you are focused on a particular, for lack of a better term here, dollar amount of who you want to work with. You understand how you can be a benefit to them. You don't need a $250 million client, although it probably wouldn't be bad, but you don't necessarily need that. You understand the benefits of working with someone who's got $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, goal as their growth for the year. And so that's certainly something I'll remember and pay attention to moving forward. And, again, Martha, you see that I wrote in there that you realize your growth is going to benefit other people. And I'm going to be mindful of that as to how, again, I've taught college in the past, business courses for creatives, and how to leverage the people around them to their benefit. Everyone wants, that I've worked with in the past, how do I draw pretty pictures and make a living at it? Well, it's knowing the people who don't draw pretty pictures and how to leverage your time with them. So obviously there's 4 resources here that I have different methods of using in the future. I certainly will do that.
That's awesome. All right. Thank you, Kelly. Gabby, I know this is your second time.
Yeah. Okay. So I know, Kelly, when I said that, I'm pretty focused on my niche and whom I want to work with, it's because the kind of work that I do, so I do a lot of tax planning, like I said, and tax planning is usually not relevant for people who are not making below a certain amount of revenue. So it's more relevant. What I'm trying to say is more relevant for people who are making, a certain amount of revenue, whatever benchmark that we have in our own little world, CPA world. And it's because tax planning by itself is an expensive service. Not everyone can afford it. And since I'm so focused on that service, promoting that service, and I use a particular tool or a software, it's so expensive when I invest into it. And therefore I have to make sure that when I'm talking to people, I know very well that I'm targeting the right amount of people. I'm not wasting anyone's time, I'm not wasting their time or my time. Of course, I want to help them out, but this service won't be of use to them if you're making a 75K or 100K in business revenue, is what I'm trying to say. I did not hear what Kelly was doing, maybe because I joined the meeting too late. But Martha, it was, Marie, it was great working with you, even though it was for a short period, right? It was pretty quick. And so I look forward to today's meeting as well, and see how we can help each other. Brian, you and I need to connect, right? So you and we need to talk and see how we can work together. This is my second meeting today, so I really need to understand more as to what you're looking for, if I can be of any help to you or not. And Martha, I think I already sent you the link as well. And I think we need to talk to and see if we can be, there could be any mutual exchange of ideas or, whatever. So I look forward to that call as well. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And Martha?
If I'm right, Kelly is a financial lender? Or did I
A
get it
mortgage
wrong?
lender. Yeah, I'm the marketing director for a mortgage lender here in Southern California.
So you only do California then?
No, we have locations across the country, and we're licensed in 47 states across the country.
Do you have anything in Chicago?
Illinois, yes, we do. We have one of our branches, Greystone Mortgage, is there in Chicago.
Okay, nice. So as I'm looking at this, I'm gonna talk to Gabby. I already set a meeting with Brian. But I see a lot of potential because Marie knows about this, but I'm creating a conference next year, like about August. And I actually think I'm gonna merge my 2 conferences because I wanna make a palette conference where I bring palette people from all over the US. But I also wanna bring other people to talk about the power of numbers and also bring in palette people together. I mean, why would I do 2 conferences when I can just merge them together? The power of the 2 things. And I'm wanna bring speakers and important subject matter. So I'm bringing Brian, and I'm going to bring you, Kelly, too, your team here in Illinois, whoever comes. But the more experts
You should invite Steve also as a speaker.
Oh yeah, Steve has to come. It was too late, but I wanted him to come to this event too, but I'm gonna make a bigger one. For the big conference, the big people are coming. So you too, Gabby, you're gonna come. I'm making this big thing, okay? I saw you had 200 people for the Filipino thing. I want to do that here too.
You're talking about the Filipino chamber.
Yeah, we
Okay.
gotta do that here.
That'd be awesome. All right, cool. Brian.
So the one thing I really like about Fire Up Connect is, unlike other networking venues, everybody in these meetings is really trying to figure out ways to work with everyone else. And you don't see that in a lot of different places. You see people that are just looking out for them. And I'll talk to anybody anytime. But if you're not interested in what I do, you're only interested in telling me what you do, then you're really not in the networking. You're just being selfish.
Yep.
And Gabby, I know you just connected with me on LinkedIn. I was happy to see that. Do you know a gentleman named Heath Walters?
Maybe, I don't know. Is he on my list? Is he on my LinkedIn list? Did you see him?
I didn't check. He's a CPA.
Okay,
He's part of one of my strategic partners.
I see.
And he focuses on tax planning for high net worth and ultra high net worth people. So maybe after we talk, I can set up an introduction between you two, because you're both doing the same stuff. So, and you might be able to help each other out.
Yes. All right. Well, I wanted to just share this story with you guys, because I understand you guys have your own, target for who you want to work with. But this is something that I learned from many years of networking. When you have someone that is not in your target industry, I think it's always good to educate them of what you do, because one person that I met through Fire Up Connect, and he has nothing to do with real estate. And I just had a one-on-one meeting with him, and I share with him what I do. And I started understanding where he's coming from in terms of what he does. And we created an opportunity that he can actually create this business through my programs. So what happened is he actually connected me to a group of investors from Canada that ended up putting $8 million on my project. Again, he has nothing to do with real estate, but because of how I spent time and educated him on what I do, he has his own connections. He kept it in his mind that this is what he can offer to others because of what I gave him in terms of the opportunity. And he was able to pivot and create connections for me. So just keep that in mind, that, sometimes there's no specific, standard for the things that you see around you. And, being flexible and trying to really just, learn other people's business and, working together and collaborate. That's how you open more opportunities that are unknown to you. And it's amazing what I have been experiencing with people by doing that. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, I am very thankful today. I am thankful that Kelly, you were able to attend our meeting. Again, if do you have any questions for Fire Up Connect by any chance? This is your first time.
Oh, I appreciate what Brian had to say, and I totally support the mindset in that, as I mentioned earlier, I've taught at the college level in the past, and if you're going to be a giving, supportive individual, it's that group that's, about to step out into the real world and go through the trials and tribulations as professionals. And so, you really got to work with them and lift them up. And so now over the years, of course, in my networking goals, and one of the reasons when you just reached out to me today, basically, Marie, to say, hey, Kelly, would you like to join our group here and let's talk about this? And I knew that, doing a quick look at you, they're saying, okay, this is something that I'm like interested in leveraging. Because, I think you need to consider everyone, what they can bring to the table. And as I said earlier in the conversation, it's not necessarily who you are, but it's certainly the people that and you may have a resource that I need. I'm going to connect Martha with our branch there in Chicago, and it could be somebody that goes somewhere with. I'm going to do some work with you, Marie. I'm going to try and do some work with Brian, and I'm going to try and send some resources to Gabby and kind of go from there. it's just an opportunity to, especially in these days, and I echo what Brian said, you know, are people really trying to lift each other up? Because that's how you lift yourself up, is by lifting others up first.
Yes. Wow, thank you. Okay, any other questions from the group?
Yeah, I just want to know what Kelly does. Kelly, I think I missed the part when you were introducing yourself.
I am the marketing director for Home Mortgage Alliance Corporation. It's a mortgage lender in Santa Ana, California.
Okay.
We have partner branch locations across the country. So we're not only doing business here, but as a organization, we're licensed in 47 states across the country.
Okay.
Well, Kelly, I'm interested in having a meeting with you since you're the marketing person for the lenders. Definitely wanted to meet with you. And Gabby, I mean, you know, again, you know how I feel about, you know, the short time that we work together. And Brian, I mean, you have such an amazing, you know, program for people. And I'm trying to still figure out how we can keep, you know, getting that out to people, because I think it's very valuable for them to listen to some of your stories. And Martha, very proud of you. You know, you're doing such an amazing job. You are truly one of those people that just, once you see the idea, you take and make it happen. And I love that about you. You know, and I'm very, very proud of all the accomplishments you've had since you became a member of Fire Up Connect. Okay.
Marie,
All
I
right.
need to talk to you. So you stay here. You and I stay back. I need to speak to you. Don't hang up.
Oh, me? You
Yeah.
talking about? Okay. Yes, of course. We're gonna have a meeting. Okay, so again, Fire Up Connect meets every Tuesday at 3:00 p.m. and Friday at 11 a.m. If you want to become a member, you're welcome to look at the fireupconnect.com and make sure that you put your contact information and save the chat so everybody gets to connect. And you don't want to miss this opportunity, because each one of you have tremendous, you know, value that you can tap into if you take the time to get to know each other and build that relationship. Okay. And again, thank you so much for your time. I know how valuable this is for you. And, you know, 1 hour of your time, I truly treasure it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you again. Okay. And Kelly, definitely, here's my number just in case you need to schedule a time with me.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.